Brand is really hard to build. You could spend an hour on TikTok and not remember what you watched. You want to be producing memorable views. 47% of Gen Z are a fan of something on the internet that no one they know personally is a fan of. And I think the opportunity is to build a really meaningful brand for one of those small groups of people.
You did Zuck and Jimmy, Mr. Beast, the biggest tech god, the biggest creator god. You're putting them together now. What'd you learn from that, and how'd that come together?
First and foremost, it was fascinating to talk to someone who, we consider to be like the auteur of this generation of human connection. I find that to be super fascinating. We met Mark a while ago to do an Orion demo. You guys know what Orion is? Like his new glasses?
Yeah, I'm super jealous. It sounds amazing.
So that was one of the craziest, that was truly one of the craziest tech experiences I've ever had in my life. And we met and it was nice and, casual conversation and started talking about having him on the show. But, with a guest like that, it takes time. And then adding Jimmy to the mix, it was like, a lot of the context was around us talking about Facebook video, us talking about creators on Facebook. And it felt like, we only have a handful of friends who have found success on Facebook. Jimmy's one of those people. So Jimmy talked about how a lot of his content that is highly viewed is shorter form content that is language agnostic. So there's like a video of him running with bags of money.
I remember
you can understand that no matter what.
Totally.
But I think that the main thing that we talked about that I couldn't stop thinking about was around the premise that maybe a lot of the engagement of the internet in the future is going to happen in the context of messaging and DMs, a lot of the human engagement in the future, as compared to probably us engaging with a lot of bots and AI agents and,
Yeah, I kind of noticed that on Instagram. I'm seeing more and more reels where the number of shares is higher than the number of likes, which means that people are not going to the comments to have the discussion. They're sending, oh, you got to watch this. And that starts a conversation in a DM.
As creators, we think about that quite a bit, that a short form piece of content is a unit of conversation. Thinking about that and through that lens, you actually create differently, right? Like your thought is, okay, I'm going to create something that somebody can share in a DM with a friend. And that's like a gift. You're giving them a gift to reconnect with someone, social currency to make someone laugh. It's a very different thought than like a long form 38-minute piece of YouTube content that you're going to watch on a connected TV.
What's going on with TikTok? Do you have an update there?
I think TikTok is a dramatic economic driver in the US. I think it had a lot of sway in the, in the election. I think it's a way that like politics is getting communicated. I think it's the way news is getting communicated. I think it's like probably the biggest search engine for Gen Z right now. Even for me, I'm like, going on a trip this summer, I'm searching stuff on TikTok.
It's a crazy platform. We started with a dry account. We got 300K views on like the first video we posted.
Yeah.
It's like, just the opportunity is like staring you in the face, no matter what you think about the politics.
Yeah. Do I know if it's actually going to sell to a US company? I have no idea. Like I saw that Mark Andreessen and Andreessen Horowitz is putting their name in the hat. I know what Alexis Ohanian's doing and Project Liberty is super interesting in terms of trying to like reshape what it looks and feels like. But, right now it is the most powerful for you algorithm that we have access to. A lot of American businesses are powered by TikTok, meaning like young startups, young media entrepreneurs are powered by TikTok. There's a lot of brand dollars that are exchanged through there. When we sat with Adam Mosseri, when we sat with Evan Spiegel, obviously like maybe the ideal scenario, even our conversation with Zuck, is like those ad dollars shift to US companies versus TikTok. But like, I don't know. We haven't really seen, or we don't really have precedent for it. In the US, unless you guys know that we do, but like I don't know that we have precedent for something like this.
I wanted to get your take on AI and creators. Buddy of mine, Trevor, had Brud that was like super early and ahead of its time.
Trevor McFedries, I know him well.
Doing Lil Michaela was like almost like 10 years ahead.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Executed very well, exited the business. And then last year was funny. We covered a few of these. There was like a period where the new like e-com style info product was like everybody should have an AI creator that makes like $5,000 a month for them, like doing brand deals. And like, obviously that's not actually like happening at a wide scale, or it's certainly not easy to do. Are you seeing instances yet of AI, like fully AI generated creators that are actually building loyal followings, meaningful ad businesses or digital products, et cetera?
So I mean, look, like what you're talking about with Lil Michaela is like considered VTuber, right? And I
Yeah.
think VTubers are picking up. Like at the end of last year, the most subscribed to Twitch streamer was Iron Mouse, which is a VTuber. So virtual creators, like animated creators, I think will continue to pick up steam. Like we've always been interested in animated content. Like what happened with GPT's image model, immediately everyone's like turning themselves into anime. Like we're into animation. Fully AI generated is not something I've seen. I think AI enhanced is like it's almost comical to suggest that content is not in some level AI enhanced, whether it's the audio of it, the video. But I have not seen an instance of like a fully AI generated creator. Probably most compelling fully AI generated content is the podcasts that have been created through Notebook LM.
Yeah, Notebook LM for sure.
That's the most compelling to me. Like audio, I think is where it'll happen first. Before it happens in video. I think we're too aware of video for it to happen through like true human.
Yeah.
I mean, Lil Michaela proves otherwise, but I think audio, it could happen. Because what Notebook LM showed me was, hey, if I have like a 20-minute drive, couldn't I just customize like, hey, I want to know about what's happening in the world of politics, what's happening in the world of the creator economy and the NBA scores from last night.
Yeah.
And just tell Notebook LM, I have a 20-minute drive, just build me a podcast that's bespoke to me for this exact moment, for this exact use case.
Do you think that some creators have moved on from this idea of the goal is scale, right? Like it used to be, you sort of like start out and you're like, I want to get millions of views. Like I want my videos to go viral. I think now people are realizing that virality is sometimes like
a curse
or doesn't even necessarily help with like building a sort of sustainable
business.
Because there's some creators that can get 10,000 views a video and they can have a fantastic lifestyle and sort of pursue their creative passions. And that's like the right size for whatever niche that they're in.
I think you guys are an example of that, right? Like, I think you guys have built a really cool brand. And I think brand is really hard to build. I think what people have learned is that views are available across platforms, right? If you solve the math equation, like you can get viewership. That's not very exciting. Brand is exciting. I think brands are timeless. Brands, give a feeling to people. And I think we're just maturing to that point where like brand matters. Views are somewhat interesting, but we're also in a world where like you could spend an hour on TikTok and not remember what you watched. So Colin and I always think about this concept of memorable views versus forgettable views. And you want to be producing memorable views. And oftentimes that means you're actually targeting a smaller group. I think our world has gotten increasingly fragmented, right? Like everybody is famous and nobody is famous because there's this stat that 47% of Gen Z are a fan of something on the internet that no one they know personally is a fan of.
Whoa.
And that is one of the most, that's from YouTube. It's one of the most interesting stats I've seen about the internet. That will only increase over time. Wow. And so if we play that out and explore like how fragmented attention is getting, how bespoke our online experiences are, we're moving away from monoculture. We're moving into a world of like smaller tribes, right? Smaller ideologies across the internet. And I think the opportunity is to build a really meaningful brand for one of those small groups of people. The challenge to be like the next Mr. Beast, to be like a massive monocultural brand, like I find that to be not even exciting to me. Like I like meeting our audience and like meeting them out in public and being like, oh yeah, these are my people. This is people like me. Yeah. That's exciting to me. And I think as the internet gets more and more fragmented, that will continue to happen.
We're sending our best for the entire Palisades rebuilding effort.
Thanks, man.
I mean, I know most of the fans will probably know that you were affected, and we really hope that everything's going well there. And if there's anything that folks can do to help, we'd love to be supportive of that.
Appreciate it. I love what you guys are doing. I think
Thanks
this
so
is
much.
super cool. It's unique. So yeah, keep it going.